You are listening to the Pregnancy Podcast with Vanessa Merton.
Hello. Thank you for tuning into the Pregnancy Podcast. Today's episode is on the science of gratitude in pregnancy. Gratitude is something that most of us feel instinctively. But does science actually back up the benefits? In this episode, we will explore the research on gratitude, including how it affects emotional well-being, relationships, stress, and even your physical health. Hear about studies focused specifically on practicing gratitude during pregnancy, and simple evidence-based ways to build gratitude into your daily routine. Whether your pregnancy has been smooth or challenging, gratitude can be a powerful tool to help you feel more grounded and supported. You can read the full article and see all of the resources for this episode at pregnancypodcast.com/gratitude. Today is Thanksgiving, which feels like the perfect moment to slow down and reflect on what you are grateful for. I am deeply honored that you trust me to provide evidence-based information to help you navigate pregnancy and birth. I truly love what I do, and I'm so thankful for the support of listeners and sponsors that support this podcast. Gratitude is something many of us talk about or feel, but let's explore the evidence behind gratitude and look at what the science can teach us about putting this into practice. Pregnancy is a time of significant emotional and physical changes. You may be coping with challenging symptoms like morning sickness. You may be feeling anxious about giving birth and stepping into motherhood. In these difficult moments, it's very easy to focus on the negatives and to feel overwhelmed. And this is especially true if this is your first pregnancy and you don't have the experience to guide you in what to expect. Even with the challenges, there's so much to be grateful for. Simply having the opportunity to experience pregnancy is a gift, even if it doesn't always feel that way. And that said, gratitude doesn't mean ignoring the difficult aspects of your journey. It's okay to acknowledge when things are hard. At the same time, taking a moment to focus on the positive aspects can help give you some balance and perspective, and ultimately make the journey a little easier to navigate. What exactly is gratitude? Gratitude is the feeling or expression of thankfulness and appreciation. To experience gratitude is to recognize and acknowledge the positive. You can direct gratitude towards abstract concepts like nature or spirituality, toward other people, inward to yourself, or even life in general. When I first set out looking for some studies on gratitude, I was pleasantly surprised that there is a lot of research on the positive benefits of expressing gratitude. One review highlights the scientific research showing many social, mental, and physical effects of practicing gratitude. Overall, gratitude interventions were found to elucidate positive emotions. This included subjective happiness, life satisfaction, fewer negative emotions, decreased depressive symptoms, and improved mood and well-being. Gratitude was shown to promote positive emotions within families and among couples, which led to improved relationships. Gratitude is correlated with stronger social connections, which include better perceptions of support and greater social relationships during stressful events. Gratitude doesn't just impact you mentally, it also can impact the body's physiological functions, including your brain function and your physical health. Gratitude stimulates brain activities in the anterior and the prefrontal cortices relating to personality, emotions, self-perception, cognitive function, social behavior, memory, and altruistic tendencies. The practice can also actually reduce your heart rate and improve cardiac health. Overall, gratitude is an evidence-based tool to promote your well-being. A systematic review and meta-analysis demonstrated that participants who underwent gratitude interventions had greater feelings of gratitude, greater satisfaction with life, better mental health, and fewer symptoms of anxiety and depression. This all sounds amazing, right? And there's a pile of evidence to support the positive effects of gratitude in general. But what about during pregnancy? There is research that shows gratitude interventions can reduce prenatal stress and cortisol levels during pregnancy. While there are documented effects during pregnancy, practicing gratitude can also benefit you well into your journey as a mother. A study showed that gratitude was associated with higher perceived relationship quality during pregnancy, which was associated with higher maternal fetal bonding, which in turn was associated with higher psychological well-being and personal growth after childbirth. I have mentioned several times gratitude interventions, but what exactly is this and how can you incorporate it into your life? In scientific research, gratitude practices often include writing, like making a list of things that you are grateful for, journaling, composing letters of gratitude to others. Gratitude can also be expressed internally by reflecting on things that you appreciate or through mindfulness meditations that focus on feelings of gratitude. Even acts of kindness or participation in charitable activities can be meaningful ways to express gratitude. Cultivating gratitude occasionally is one thing, but developing a regular practice is another. Turning gratitude into a habit can have lasting benefits, not just right now while you're pregnant, but throughout your life. An easy way to start is simply by listing things that you are grateful for. For example, you might write down 3 things each morning, or maybe this is something that you would like to do before bed. The key is to keep it simple and sustainable. You can set a daily reminder on your phone. You can place a sticky note on your bathroom mirror or your laptop to prompt you to reflect on what you're grateful for. This is a small habit that can make a big difference over time. Research actually suggests that longer forms of writing, like gratitude letters, may have even more profound effects. Writing a letter of gratitude to somebody can be deeply meaningful and psychologically enriching for you. And this holds true whether you mail the letter, you email it, or you never share it. This Thanksgiving, I encourage you to take a moment and write a letter of gratitude, even if it's something you just do in a text message or in the notes on your phone. You could write to a partner, a family member, a close friend. You could even write to your future baby. And if you prefer to journal privately, you can write an entry reflecting on what you're grateful for and why. As you're thinking about how to incorporate gratitude, it's completely normal if this does not come easily, especially if you're dealing with a lot of physical discomfort, you have some anxiety, you're dealing with any pregnancy complications, or there are just things that are difficult right now that are outside of your control. Gratitude is not about pretending that everything is perfect. It's about noticing small moments of goodness even when life is challenging. Give yourself permission to practice gratitude in whatever way feels realistic for you. And I encourage you to expand this practice beyond just thinking about what you're grateful for today. The more consistently that you return to gratitude over time, the more benefits you will experience. In creating this podcast, I have the amazing opportunity to learn a lot that I get to incorporate into my own life. A lot of topics that I research and discuss on the podcast apply to more than just the period of your life where you're pregnant. In the spirit of everything that I have learned while researching for this episode, I thought it would be appropriate to wrap up with my own gratitude letter to you. Pregnancy is an incredibly special time, but it does not come without challenges. I started this podcast because there was not a resource that provided evidence-based information in this format. My goal has always been to give you the tools and information that you need to confidently navigate your pregnancy. And I am so grateful that you trust me to be a part of your journey. Time is the most valuable resource that any of us has. And I genuinely appreciate that you choose to spend some of your time listening to me. Whether you're tuning in on your commute, while you're relaxing at home, while you're folding laundry or doing dishes, it means so much that you're here. I also want to thank you for your patience with the advertisements. While I know they can sometimes feel like a nuisance, they play a vital role in supporting this podcast and enabling me to continue creating free content. Every time an episode is downloaded and every interaction that I have with a listener is an incredible reminder of how lucky I am to be a small part of such an important time in your life. Hosting the Pregnancy Podcast has been the most rewarding work I've ever done, and it's truly a privilege to be alongside you in this journey. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for your support of this podcast and for allowing me to be part of your pregnancy. With gratitude, Vanessa. To recap today's episode, we talked about what gratitude is, went through some of the evidence on gratitude and specifically some of the research on practicing gratitude during pregnancy. I covered exactly what a gratitude intervention is. It could range from listing things that you're grateful for to writing somebody a letter of gratitude. It can be reflecting internally, doing a mindfulness meditation that focuses on feelings of gratitude. There are lots of ways that you can incorporate this into your life in a way that feels right for you. I wrapped up the episode with a letter of gratitude for you. And I appreciate that you tune into this podcast. I hope that you find this episode helpful. If you have a friend who's pregnant, please share this episode. So many listeners discover the podcast through recommendations, and I appreciate you sharing it. As always, you can reach me, Vanessa, at pregnancypodcast.com. You can read the full article and all of the resources that accompany this episode at pregnancypodcast.com/gratitude.